Homogeneous factor number 2 for this region. The Middle East, it's got oil. Yeah, that's what everybody always thinks of. Middle East, they got all the oil in the whole world. Well, yeah, not. But this region does have tons and tons and tons of the petroleum black gold. And this all-important, crucial, critical resource is the lifeblood of many of the region's individual economies. So much so they can't get along without it, and neither can the world, apparently. Oil is a big deal, and it's a big deal in the Middle East. But they don't have it all, so how much do they really have? Why do we associate the Middle East with this particular resource so much? Well, it depends on your sources, the data or information where you're getting this stuff from. Numbers will vary, but really everyone would agree conservatively, this single region called the Middle East possesses something like 50% of the world's proven oil reserves. That's half. Conservatively, it's half. And it may be more like 55, 60, 65, 70% of the world's oil is in this one region. And that's not even to speak of everything else petroleum related. So conservatively, Middle East, half the world's oil reserves, and probably half the world's oil production, and probably half the world's oil sales, and probably half the world's oil exports on a daily basis. They got about half of the petroleum pie, and it's a really big, really valuable pie, and they got the biggest slice of it on planet Earth. So they don't got it all, but they got a lot, and it really matters. Now, this is a resource that is not evenly or equitably distributed across all of the planet. So different countries have different amounts, but it's not evenly or equitably distributed even within the Middle East. Not all countries in the Middle East are significantly oil rich. We'll talk about this pattern in more detail later, but the countries around the Persian Gulf really got all the oil. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, UAE. You start to get further away from the Persian Gulf basin in the Middle East, and Egypt really doesn't have much. Turkey don't got much. Morocco, not a whole lot. So it depends on even where in the Middle East you are. It depends where in the world you are, according to how much oil is there. It also depends on where in the Middle East you are, even though they got half. So this region don't got all the oil, but it's got a lot. It's an important player, if not the most important player for petroleum on the planet. It's like the single biggest shareholder of this huge petroleum pie upon which all of the rest of the world depends. Not evenly distributed in the world, not evenly distributed within the region, which complicates the situation when we're trying to understand what's going on in this region called the Middle East. On that note, let's talk about petroleum. And in the context of this region for a while, let's fill up our tank of knowledge on this massively critical and crucial resource and its massive impact on this particular region called the Middle East. Petro Power on.